Welcome to all.
Now we are live.
Now we are live. Welcome all to Walt's Vault. Art T. Bear here, along with Taylor Grosso, and we're going to talk about Disneyland, Galaxy's Edge, Batu. And yeah, we have some exclusives, you guys. We have an exclusive. We checked around the internet, and nobody has this. I don't know why, but nobody has this. So we are going to reveal an exclusive, and it's very, very cool. It's not like, oh, they're going to have moof juice. No, it's not like that at all.
But they will. They will have moof juice.
Yeah, not that I'm, belittling moof juice, but this is way bigger than moof juice. I'm just saying. Bigger.
Moof juice has a big glass to fill with the exclusive that we're about to drop on you.
Hey Taylor, how do you think lunch went?
I think it went really well. I enjoyed the sopapilla. How do you think it went, Art?
I enjoyed the sopapilla as well. Should we tell everybody what the lunch meeting was?
Ooh, yeah. Now that you dropped the M word, I think they're gonna want to know.
Go ahead.
So we just had a meeting with what should we call him? I don't know how we would label.
I don't know. A film producer?
A bigwig film producer?
Yeah.
We just had a meeting with one of them that is a personal friend of ours. He's interested in some IPs and such.
Yeah, so we may be talking about bringing some of these IPs, mainly black and white, to the big screen. So it was very exciting, had a lot of fun, and I've never had a sopapilla before.
Me neither.
And it was, oh my gosh, we made friends with it's a Mexican food restaurant here in Corona, and it's called Miguel's, and they have Miguel's Juniors all around. They're more of like a takeout, but they have sit-down restaurants too. So we went to the sit-down restaurant here, and yeah, the owner, she came over, and I don't know, I've been there a couple times, but she acted like she knew us, huh?
She probably heard about black and white and saw that we were like possibly making a film deal, and she's like, I'm going to give them this sopapilla so that they remember that this is where it happened.
She looked at Taylor and went, you know what? She's a big YouTuber. We're gonna have to do something special for these guys. So yeah. So we had a great lunch. Talked to Mark, and Mark had some great ideas. So we are going to be pursuing some things beyond Indiegogo, beyond YouTube, beyond comics, and keep your fingers crossed. And we'll keep you guys posted on how that goes. But I'll tell you right now, that sopapilla, it was delicious.
People in the chat, John S. wants to know if we had it with honey. It did have honey.
Yeah, it had honey all over it.
I wonder if they'll have them at Batu and Galaxy's Edge.
I don't know. They probably had better stuff. So do you want to... I know we have you for a limited time, Taylor. Taylor's got to go somewhere. So, is it working?
Somebody said it's a little echoey. I'm going to try this setting. Let us know if that's a little better. I just realized we didn't even introduce the segment that we're doing right now.
Oh, I thought I said Walt's Vault. No?
Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, it's
I might
Walt.
have just messed it up.
It's Walt's Vault. I'm Art.
I'm Tag.
Taylor's over there. And we're going to talk about Disneyland for the next hour. More importantly, the Galaxy's Edge part of Disneyland. And yeah, we have an exclusive for you guys. It's crazy exclusive. And like we said, it's not moof juice or what is it? Blue milk or... Oh
gosh, there's moof juice. There's, what was it called? Like Nib Nub or something?
No, that's the guy. That's the pilot guy from the Millennium Falcon.
Oh, that's Nien Nub.
Nib.
Ray Thulu says, what? Tag is allowed to leave the studio? Well,
sometimes.
Just for a little bit, and then we'll be back for another show. Possibly, is our next show tomorrow? I know that we're probably doing Kiss Corner.
I think
Friday.
Kiss Corner is Friday. We'll see if we can come up with something for tomorrow. We got to get back to work, man.
I know.
The whole day has been just talking to this producer guy.
Well, we only left for one day.
I know, but it feels like we've been gone for a long time.
That's true.
Probably because we never leave. Well, I never leave here. You actually do.
Sometimes.
So,
let's take them on. We're going to take you guys on a digital tour of Galaxy's Edge, and this is courtesy of Entertainment Weekly, of all places.
Yeah, Entertainment Weekly did a big expose on Galaxy's Edge, the new Star Wars land at Disney.
So the first thing we're going to cover is, I know a lot of people were asking if the Since we kind of talked on the last live stream about the last Walt's Fault, I should say, we talked about the Adventurers Club and how the parks all have kind of an ongoing storyline. And people were curious if Galaxy's Edge was going to have a storyline that fits into Star Wars. So that's where we're going to start.
So, yes.
All right. Batuu used to be a quiet nowhere. Now it's on the front line of conflict. The planet's way station for interplanetary travels. Black Spire Outpost is like an old Route 66 town in our world. Bypassed by modern light-speed transit routes, it literally sits on the galaxy's edge. Oh. Which gives this 14-acre Disneyland and Walt Disney World experience its name. If that sounds like the title of a Star Wars movie, that's intentional. Your visit is meant to feel like part of the galactic timeline, set somewhere after the events of The Last Jedi and shortly before this December's next episode.
9.
Thank you. I can't read Roman numerals. Do you know anything about the next installment of Star Wars?
I just know J.J. Abrams is going to be the director and possibly writing it, and that he's got some major fixing and a lot of problems he's inheriting. So hats off, man, if you can make it work.
Best of luck.
Oh, I have heard that there may be 2 movies because the Cluster F may take 2 movies to fix.
That's what they should call it. Star Wars, the Cluster F.
Galaxy's Cluster F.
Okay, so that meant, since it's going to be between The Last Jedi and the next movie, that meant creating a story and a history around Black Spire Outpost with room to adapt to future Star Wars storytelling. We want to give the impression that this planet has always been around and that we're coming into it as travelers for the first time onto Batuu, says Margaret Carrison, managing story editor with Walt Disney Imagineering. There are layers and layers of history and all of these characters, familiar and new, who have come and gone to this planet. Do you recognize that name? Because I don't.
No, I don't.
An occupied city. This isn't a sleepy backwater anymore. The First Order recently sent a garrison here, seeking something. We don't know what they're trying to find, but we do know a little about the stormtroopers who are doing the hunting. The 709th, the Red Fury, says Scott Throwbridge, the Imagineering creative executive in charge of Galaxy's Edge. That's a cool job.
That would be a cool job.
There are some stories to be told about these folks and why they're here, what they came looking for, or who they came looking for. The elite squad from the First Order has arrived on a new ship, the TIE Echelon, which has a cockpit similar to Kylo Ren's Batwing shuttle and the curved foils of Darth Vader's TIE Advanced X1. Did we see I don't think I saw that anywhere.
On a new ship? TIE fighters don't carry multiple people. They carry...
One.
Or
I guess 2? Because didn't Finn fit back to back?
Yeah, but it says elite squad from the First Order has arrived on a new ship.
They're all squished.
Unless it's like one humongous TIE fighter.
I guess. I didn't see a TIE fighter. Well, maybe they'll show it.
Well, it's the TIE Echelon.
The TIE Echelon. A life-size version of the TIE Echelon is parked in the First Order-controlled sector of Black Spire Outpost, near one of the entrances to the land. Don't try to touch it. The Red Fury doesn't like strangers approaching their ship. Oh, this
Wait,
so
I
fun.
haven't seen that thing yet, though.
I haven't either. I actually haven't even seen it in concept art. Just keep your head down and head to the blue milk stand on the other side of the courtyard. Okay, the alien landscape. The early concept designs from Lucasfilm showed Batuu was a jagged geography, which also helps block out views of nearby Earth structures. And the writers...
Such as Fantasyland, Frontierland, and New Orleans Square.
I guess saying Earth structures is easier.
And Harbor Boulevard.
And Toontown, soon to be destroyed. And the writers reacted to illustrations by asking questions that eventually became canon. Could there have been these tall, towering trees from hundreds of thousands of years ago? Okay. And could they have eroded and petrified over time into rock, says Carrison. And what if one of these spires was really special?
Was it Black Spire?
It's in the middle of the outpost, and that's how Black Spire Outpost got its name, because it was blacker than all the rest. You can see it in the center
You
of this
need to
concept.
stop laughing. That's a brilliant idea. How dare you?
It says you can see it in the center of this concept image, but I don't see it. Is this it?
I think, yeah, it's this one right here.
Small.
It's the smallest one there.
Like, why would that one be named over this gigantic one back
That's
here?
right behind it, yeah.
Also, I don't see that TIE fighter. Let's see. Most of these skyscraper spires look like granite threaded with rusting iron strata. Okay. But one spike in the center of town is glistening black like onyx, and its haunting presence is what made beings both ancient and modern choose to gather here. Okay. What do you think about that?
Well, okay, there's another article. Should I kind of talk about? Because there is kind of like a native vibe that's there. There were people there before it kind of built up. And there's like... I guess they're very superstitious or very, what would that be? You know how like tribal or spiritual? Yeah. So maybe that actually Black Spire did mean something to the native people that lived there.
Yeah, you're right. Because like Art said, there is a later part in the article where they do touch upon that. So I guess that is a consistent theme throughout this land.
Yeah, I think there are native people that inhabited that Black Spire area before it became a port town. I guess that's the way to say it, right? It's a port town, so it's like a transition. It's where you probably get supplies and fuel up and stuff like that. Yeah, outpost.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone has different theories of what it is, so there isn't one answer because it happened so long ago.
We just gave the one answer.
We did. We were inspired by a lot of the mysteries that we have on Earth that we don't have answers to. Although it's a natural formation, the Black Spire holds a similar place in the minds of Batu travelers as Stonehenge.
Ooh, we just said that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we're intuitive about
I didn't
this.
even read this yet.
We're
Not this one.
storytellers.
Not this one. I read another article.
This is all new. I think this came out like 2 days ago. I don't know.
This is exclusive.
This is an exclusive. Everyone has a story to tell about what the Black Spire is.
I sure do. I just told mine.
Even parents have bedtime stories about its origins. That's a little weird. There is no answers, but there is something unusual about it, and there's talk and whispers among the locals.
Ooh, I like this.
If it was at, like, a cheesier theme park, it'd be all carved with the gang signs and stuff within the year.
And like, what is the Warner Brothers, the Magic Mountain?
Six Flags? Okay, so references...
That Batmobile is trashed.
Oh, we should take a... Actually,
I saw some kids just jumping on it.
No!
Like, yeah, when we were there. Yeah.
You respect the Batmobile.
Yeah.
References in other Star Wars tales. Lucasfilm story group member Pablo Hidalgo says fans should expect to see some of those stories turn up in Star Wars publishing in the near future. He doesn't mention the films, though. It's already referenced in a few books and one movie available now. Oh, Solo. In Solo, a Star Wars story, the droid L337 tells Lando, "You couldn't get..." I gotta try to do her voice, but I don't know if I can. "You couldn't get from here to Black Spire without me." And Lou Anders' middle grade novel. That's not a nice way to put it. Wow. Pirate's Price features Hondo Onaka remembering a long ago Han and Chewie adventure while setting up his new Millennium Falcon smuggling operation on Batuu.
Okay, you guys, remember that name. Hondo Onaka. Remember that.
And he's in the animated series.
It may tie into our exclusive.
In Timothy Zahn's Thrawn Alliances novel from last year.
I hated Tron. It wasn't that good.
No, Art.
I like the light cycles though.
Those are the best things.
Those were awesome.
The mouse that we're using right now to scroll actually looks just like a Tron helmet. I always thought.
It's very futuristic.
But that's not what you came here for. You came here to hear about this. Alliance novels from last year. Okay. So we learned that during the Clone Wars, Padme Amidala went missing on Batuu, and Anakin Skywalker came to Black Spire searching for her. Oh, okay, I guess that's only in the book. Years later, Darth Vader would venture back to Batuu with Grand Admiral Thrawn on a mission from the Emperor. So Black Spire Outpost has existed before this, I guess, in expanded universe. As people come to visit the cantina on Black Spire Outpost, this is a place where Vader once walked, and Thrawn and Padme, says Matt Martin, Lucasfilm creative executive. We even know that what Padme ordered at the cantina. What do you think it was, Art?
Moof juice.
For sure. Future books about Black Spire Outpost include Ethan Sachs Galaxy's Edge comics from Marvel, and Black Spire Marvel by Phasma author Delilah S. Dawson and Zoraida Cordova's young adult, I almost said young American, young adult book Crash of Fate. Okay, so these are the employee costumes.
We did an exclusive earlier on another with the costumes.
And these look a little different than the ones we saw. I know that
no, those are exactly the same. The only one I don't know if I saw her too. Yeah, we've seen all these.
I didn't remember this one, but I think it was on a mannequin, maybe.
Maybe. They also said, inside sources say, these are a little bit. They're overdone for the publicity stuff. These will not be. They'll be pared down from this because they said hot summer months in Florida and in Disneyland here, there's no way that they could wear, like the employees couldn't wear these kind of costumes. They're just too hot. So they're probably going to be like simplified versions of these costumes.
Lots of layers and stuff. I could see that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about it before because this area of the park's being compared a lot to Pandora. And if you've ever been to that section, the employees act in character there, and I guess they're going to also be acting in character in Galaxy's Edge. So each park worker or cast member in Disney parlance will also be playing a character as they go about their job. They may be serving up sandwiches at Ronto Roaster, guiding you onto rides, or cleaning up the grounds, but they'll also be trained in improvising and role play. We've encouraged them to create their own identities and personas, said Carrison.
Uh-oh.
I know. They are local Batuans, but remember, some of the cast members might know nothing about Star Wars. Well, they better. We are encouraging them to know about their daily lives, where you work, know what you are selling, and who you are working for. They're also being encouraged to talk about politics, though not Earth politics.
Okay.
That sounds like fun.
Have you heard of an SJW?
She's like, I don't even know how they would. Well, they can't even talk bad about the First Order because they're there.
This could be like talking to Suri, or what's the other one?
Oh gosh, which one?
Where you ask like just really messed up stuff just to get a weird.
Like Cortana or something.
No, like your phone, like Suri, those those AIs, yeah.
They have a set thing they can say.
What is love, Suri? Love?
I do not know.
Ask again. What is an SJW? I have no idea.
It's ma'am. Every worker will have an opinion of what's recently taken place here, which is the First Order arriving a couple weeks ago. Carrison adds, there's lots of gossiping, there's lots of whispers and rumors about what's going on. There might be cast members who are Resistance sympathizers helping them out. There might be some cast members who are First Order loyalists who are like, finally, Order, my gosh, someone's going to do something about this place, right?
Wait. I just thought of a future Walt's Vault.
Ooh, what is it?
We go and interview those people.
And find which ones are Resistance?
And come up with a storyline. Like somehow, like we ask them similar questions, and then you and I concoct a story based on their responses.
Ooh, we should do that.
Yeah, we should say, what about the indigenous people here? Did you know them? What were they do? Were they spiritual? Did they have powers?
Ooh, we could uncover the actual tale of
Black
Spire Outpost.
Or just make up our own based on what they say, which would be more fun.
You guys, send us a super chat if you want to help us make our way to Batu so that we can butcher their storyline or improve it.
And and you guys make sure, like in the comments and stuff, feel free to comment as we go along. We love the feedback.
Let us know what you would ask these people in character to challenge them. Do you think they're going to have those little stupid rings? Remember in the last movie?
Oh, the Resistance?
Yeah, because the
rings?
The Resistance seemed poor, but then Rose Tico had that fancy decoder ring that she pushed a button on.
And then that kid looked up in the sky like it was some kind of bat signal.
Oh gosh.
One of these days, I'll don on a bat suit.
That movie's horrible. Every worker will have an opinion of, okay, we got that. While training those who aren't savvy.
What if just some of the employees just have that ring?
Ooh.
When we interview them, or go, what is that ring about? And just watch them like skirt the story.
If they're good, they'll try to skirt it.
They go, I don't know. I just found it somewhere.
And some guy's just like, I don't know what it is.
He gets all panicky.
Runs.
He's like, don't grill me.
Just take your stupid moof juice and sit down. While training those who aren't savvy about Star Wars lore, They also have to restrict the workers who are superfans. We do have to set guardrails and parameters, Karrison says. Some are so incredibly excited that they are making up things that make us go, okay, wait, you cannot be Han Solo's second cousin, okay? Aww. That'd be the fun part, though.
Yeah, that would be exclusive for us, too.
We'll just say, are you Han's cousin?
Are you Han's cousin?
Okay, exploring the village. Just months from opening, at Disneyland this summer and Walt Disney World in the fall, Galaxy's Edge is still a work in progress. Most of the exterior buildings and spires have been constructed in Anaheim, but the interiors and ride mechanisms are still being finished. The streets were slicks of mud. The streets were slicks of mud when EU visited.
Oh, because it's raining here in Southern California.
Thanks to a deluge of recent Southern California rains.
Okay, wait, I'm gonna back up for just a moment. Okay, there's 2 Galaxy's Edges. Shouldn't Florida have called it something different?
Yeah, ours is the Edge.
I know. How could there be 2? They should have been original, like Galaxy's Edge, and then just create a new storyline for them.
Galaxy Center. Just months after opening. Okay, let's see. We got here. During our visit, masons were pounding in stones for walkways. Plumbers were busy installing the refreshers, which is Star Wars word for bathrooms. And landscapers were prepping to move in trees and plant life. There are countless control panels and other objects that can be interacted with via the Disney Play app. And there's a whole other part we're going to read about the Disney Play app because it involves most of the parks aspects.
Wait, well, what's the room? Does it?
This is the marketplace of some kind.
Oh, this is like the antique store.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I don't know how they're going to work this, but this actually as far as stores, I heard that they're going to be one-of-a-kind items, so I'm not sure how they're going to display them. Like, you know how like most stores there's multiples of one thing, so if you buy one, there's another one on the shelf? So I think what this is going to be is you buy one, and then they're going to replace that little area that you took it from with something else. So I think
cool.
From what I understand, if they do this as this idea, I think it'll be pretty cool because then each thing will be fairly one of a kind. I'm sure there's multiples of whatever, but this kind of looks like all I get is the Gremlins vibe when that guy goes into that and finds the
Mogwai.
The Mogwai. Yeah.
Let me read a bit of the chat. D Geekark says, I like Hondo. The chat overwhelmingly likes a Hondo. I'm not that familiar with his character.
Oh, you will be after this.
I guess so. John S. says, wait, so the cast are just going to be making stuff up? Yeah, it sounds like they're going to be in character.
Yeah, that's very cool. And so I'm sure they're going to have to write up their story and get it okayed.
Oh, yeah. So they don't let something slip. Like, I could see why they wouldn't want them being like, I'm Han Solo's cousin and doing some, indulgent stuff. John says, I would claim to be an Empire loyalist. Screw the First Order. Let's see.
They would haul you out and just like shoot you.
Nick W says they should have named the other galaxies as Galaxy's Edge to the Extreme.
To the extreme.
Okay, so this is the marketplace. The marketplace will feature a water fountain that appears to be connected to a glass cistern. Every now and then, when a guest stops to take a drink, the eye stalk of a Dinoga creature, the water-dwelling thing that menaced Luke, Leia, Han, and Chewie in the Death Star trash I know what they're talking about now.
Oh, cool.
Will dart up into the cistern, then vanish back into the pipes among the sound of it squirming through the plumbing. That's going to scare the crap out of some people.
And it's going to be exceptionally cool. You watch, that's going to be the first thing that's dismantled in the park.
No.
Because some kid's just going to lose their crap.
Whack it with a lightsaber.
He's going to spill his moof juice.
No. The stories are literally written on the walls around you and in the ground and in the spaces, says Robin Reardon.
Ooh, that's going to be those apps. We talked about this before. I think that Disney app will probably be a way that you can decipher some of this stuff. And I think that's going to be the underlying story of all that mystic stuff and all the indigenous people, because there's a story within a story, I believe in here.
Yeah. I believe you're right about
because
that.
Can I speculate?
Speculate.
I think it's going to have something to do with the ancient Jedi masters, I think.
The sacred texts?
Yeah.
Perhaps?
Well, yeah, but maybe, what did they say what was those islands that Luke was on in that last movie that was horrible?
The temples and stuff.
Yeah, it might be something like that. So this might have been like some kind of sacred Jedi ground, before it turned into the outpost.
Everybody in the chat is calling it something different. Comic Book Bob says the Bendu. And Ray Lewis says the Willis.
The Willis? What you talking about?
I think that'd be interesting, and it'd probably come out better. That seems like a better idea for the theme park than the movie.
You know what? I'm hoping that there's just going to be some Ewoks walking around, because I just want to walk up to one and go, nub, 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 nub.
See them toddling about. The full-size Millennium Falcon, part of Smuggler's Run, is parked in the center of town. There are thriving shops surrounding it, like Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities.
That's that picture. That's the picture, yeah.
Which we examine in more detail in a guide to shops, which we'll get to that. Venture beyond Blackspire's Gate, and you'll find a place in the woods where the good guys have set up hidden headquarters. All right, the Resistance Sector, which I guess is this, pictured here. Out here you'll find...
Scroll it up just a bit so they can see it. No, like so you can see the whole image.
That's as far as it goes.
Oh, okay.
For some reason, this image is very narrow.
Okay. I'm trying for you guys.
Sorry, guys. Out here you'll find a Blue Squadron X-Wing parked on a low platform alongside an A-Wing fighter. This area is meant to be part of Batu's tranquil Sarubat River Valley, where early planetary beings set up their own community. The ruins of living spaces built into the rock face call to mind centuries-old Earth structures like the Pueblo cliffside dwellings carved into the sandstone of Mesa Verde National Park in Colorado. On Batu, a group of new residents have moved into these otherworldly caves and structures.
Wait a minute, I just got a vibe, okay? What if, because of this this origin of Batu, what if the First Order can't go here?
Ooh.
Because you never see any First Order in this area of the park. You only see it over by the Millennium Falcon. Because what I was thinking, and we talked about this too, is that if you saw X-Wings, the Millennium Falcon is still like, if you saw the Millennium Falcon and you were a First Order person, you would probably know there'd be some kind of APB out on it, right? Like as soon as you saw it, it's so recognizable, you would know that it's associated with the rebellion, right? So maybe this section of the park is like there's something or some reason why the First Order can't go here, because they're open. Like, you can see it in the overhead view. They're open to each other. You know what I mean? It's not like you have to go through some hidden passageways to get to this section of the park,
yeah,
right?
There's no clear division that I know of.
Right. So for some reason, are we to assume that the First Order can't get here? Because if they saw these X-Wing fighters, they would already know.
Yeah, it's pretty... You know what would be amazing? They'll never do this, but this would be cool. What if, like, once in a while, you know how... well, I guess A New Hope kind of opened similar to that. There's multiple scenes in the movies where there's like just kind of a resistance loyal group of people hanging out, and then the First Order or the Empire would come in and just destroy them and set things on fire and cause chaos.
Yeah.
Like, what if
I like that part, actually.
Like, what if once in a while, like, you and your kid are sitting there, you're eating your, like, Mickey Mouse ice cream. And
they don't have them here.
Oh, right. The C-3PO ice cream. And then all of a sudden the First Order just comes in and they're, like, have, like, flamethrowers and they start beating up the people. And you have to run away and hide in caves.
What the heck are you talking about?
That'd be so cool.
It would be cool, though.
Then you can fight them.
It becomes a real thing.
You're just running with your kid while fighting off stormtroopers.
But okay, bringing it back to reality, so we are to assume that the First Order can't, because they would just shut these guys down, right? Like, you can't have just an X-Wing parked right in the middle of this.
Well, it says
this out.
It briefly mentions woods, which is kind of weird. Like, venture beyond Blackspire's Gate and you'll find a place in the woods. So do you think they're going to have...
Oh, it does say hidden head... But I thought the hidden headquarters, we're going to get to that. I thought that was probably the caves that we'll talk about later.
Spoiler alert. But
yeah.
Let's see.
This is weird, though.
Well, wait, does it lead into the caves? Because it says... Well, maybe not. cliffside dwellings. I don't know. This is a little confusing. Oh, here we go. These ruins, and this will be the last section before we move on to the next part, which may elaborate. These ruins are where the Rise of the Resistance ride begins. Okay, so your suspicions were right. And nearby is a gigantic scuttled starship, ruins of a more recent sort, where the experience ends. Keep in mind, the Resistance doesn't think this home base is permanent. They are in a weakened state, and if the First Order strikes, they'll have to take off in a hurry. They're here on Batu out of necessity, but you'll have to visit the park and maybe see episode 9 to understand exactly why this place is important to both sides.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, man. I'm geeking out here.
So, I guess this is the entrance to Rise of the Resistance.
So this is really themed. This is crazy nth degree themed, right? I mean, there's an adventure here. It's not just a storyline, right? There's an adventure going on.
Oh yeah, it seems like this is more interactive than any park that they have, at least at the California location.
Yeah, and like you said, the only one that's close is oh gosh, what is it called in Florida?
The Avatar one.
Avatar Land, yeah.
Dynamo says, Art, does Galaxy's Edge have a height requirement? Asking for a friend named Mike. Aww.
Oh, poor Mikey.
It does, actually. A lot of the rides are, it's about
40 inches?
Yeah, it's like 4 feet pretty much is the cutoff. This ride, I think, has a height cutoff, actually. Okay.
Okay, the Rise of the Resistance is the dark ride, right? This is...
Yes, I believe Rise of the Resistance is the dark ride, and then the Millennium Falcon one is the motion sim?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the dark ride. 1 minute you're taking selfies with the Blue Squadron X-Wing, and next you're getting swept up in a galactic space battle. That's how it goes in Galaxy's Edge. The Star Wars lands opening at Disneyland this summer and Walt Disney World in the fall. On the Rise of the Resistance ride, you will be joined by Daisy Ridley, the real one?
Of course.
John Boyega, Oscar Isaac, and Adam Driver, who have created footage to give Rey, Finn, Poe Dameron, and Kylo Ren a presence in the attraction.
They better not blow this next movie.
I know, because then we're all going to be mad seeing them. As part of the EU's tour of Disneyland theme parks attractions, we're taking you on a tour we received on this yet unfinished ride, which will take you off-world abroad, a resistance transport into the belly of a First Order Star Destroyer and into the crosshairs of a pair of giant AT-ATs, or AT-ATs, depending on how you pronounce it. That's just what we know so far. Okay, so this is the model. So I guess this is really weird to me because they said it was hidden in the woods. We see these two ships here, but isn't this just commingling in the entirety of a park? It doesn't seem like there's a division between them. Really.
I don't know. Maybe the way they designed it, that there's going to, like, you can't see this from that town, because this is definitely more rural. This is more. There's not a lot of built up stuff. I think the only structure really is that the old ship remains. Yeah, over there. So I don't know if they can see your cursor, but over here is the entrance where the arrow is, and over here is where the exit. So right in between here where the rocks are, that's where the dark ride is. It's inside there, yeah.
Somewhere over here.
Yeah.
All right, the wait line begins beneath the mobile cannon turret, which forms an archway pass to a path leading to ancient aliens' ruins carved into the rocky cliffs off the planet Batu. You can see it just left of the A-Wing, where we already just pointed. The ground is hardened mud. Actually concrete, but go with it. Yeah, we know EU. Where you can see the footprints of Resistance soldiers and the tracks of an R2 astromech droid. Actually, it's the R2 astromech R2-D2, for real. We got access to one of the original Kenny Baker A New Hope 1976 through 1977 era droids, and we took rubbings at the bottom of the droid's feet, says Paul Bailey, a show systems engineer with.
And you know what? This is a true fact. It wasn't heavy enough, Taylor, so they actually had to put Kenny Baker into the droid so it would make the imprint into the concrete. That's fact.
It was the only way. You heard it here first.
It's not true.
No, you should have let them believe.
I'm just lying. I tell stories. It's what I do.
He then digitized those treads and turned them into 3 wheels on a little trolley. Oh, that means he can run around with the trolley and make those footprints wherever he wants. I'll set the scene for you, says Kristen Michaela, art director for Imagineering. There's a busy construction site. There's lots of people around pouring hardscape concrete. All of a sudden, one of them jumps on a little trolley and someone else pulls him through the concrete. Like that, R2-D2 has left his mark. Even though no Star Wars fans have studied the bottom of the droid's rollers, it shows the extreme effort...
What? No Star Wars fan have studied? I think there's a ton of Star Wars fans that have studied the bottom of the droid's rollers.
Yeah, there's fans who have literally like built
these
replicas.
things. Yeah.
So that's not really true. Entertainment Weekly.
Get your facts straight.
Get your facts straight like we do here in Walt's
Let's
Vault.
just cut to Ancient Ruins. We get the R2-D2 thing. Yeah.
Okay, so the Resistance likes to set up in the ruins of ancient civilizations, like on Yavin 4, says Imagineering creative director John Lorena, referring to the temple base targeted by the Death Star in 1977 Star Wars. The story of Galaxy's Edge is that the Resistance and the First Order are both visiting Blackspire Outpost in search of something. Maybe in December's Episode 9 it will illuminate that more. Oh god, are they going to use that movie to sell this park more? The idea is that the Resistance set up only a week ago, and if they need to run, they can abandon this place fast. Inside the Pueblo-like living space of ancient Batuans, the line of would-be resistant volunteers passes, I guess that's us, passes an animated gonk droid, which is basically a walking battery, powering the lights and communications gear.
Ooh, so is that kind of like tour guiding you through, maybe?
I think so. It's pretty cool.
So these are probably like the native people that we were talking about earlier, right? That these caves were inhabited by?
It sounds like it.
And that now the Resistance are hiding in.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of Resistance tech in here, Lorena says, waving at the cables and communication screens hung haphazardly on the cave walls. Throughout the lines, guests will pick up transmissions that hint on an encroaching First Order Legion.
Cool.
So I think you mentioned, like, we've seen stuff like that on other rides where it kind of tells the story in the queue.
Well, click the video and see what it plays out.
I think this is... First,
that
this
is
an
not
ad.
Star Wars.
But there are other things to explore, too. The line winds through a cave with a dry aqueduct and shallow dips and flat shelves of rock.
Split. But you're good, right?
Let's
I'm
see.
okay.
These are
better with the other
depressions. They
two,
used
but
to
I'm
clean
asking
and
for her
wash
hand.
things. I don't know.
Oh,
Those
that's
kind of details
good.
don't really
We
thrill
could
me
use one.
that much.
Just okay
let's
is
see.
not okay,
This
especially
stupid
when it
ad
comes
would
to
go,
your
we could show
network.
you.
AT&T is America's
They
best
just wanna
wireless
talk to
network,
AT&T.
according to
hope
America's
it's
biggest
worthwhile.
test. Now
The
with
Play
5G
Disney
evolution,
Park app
the first
on
step to
visitors' phones will
5G.
share information with them as they go through the line, though sometimes it only raises questions without answers. Here we go. Let's see.
Oh, I think this is the trailer for the ride. I think we've seen this. We've played this before.
Yeah, this is a part of the queue. We showed it early on Walt's Vault.
Yeah, and that droid in the foreground, that's one of the... Oh, I guess both of those are the ride vehicles, right?
I believe so. That's like the little car.
Yeah. And so this is probably one of the queue, I would imagine. Wait, maybe that's part of the ride itself.
I don't know.
Because they're trackless vehicles.
Oh.
So they could be... Because those are pretty wide.
Yeah, I think it was. That would be a lot of detail for the queue, not that they don't do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically you're going to be in these ancient ruins. You can see that the Resistance has taken up residence in here. But the Play Disney Park app on visitors' phone will share information with you as you go through the line, though sometimes it only raises more questions without answers.
What's going to be cool is I think they're going to mess with you this way. They're not going to give you a complete like narrative, right? Because each time you go to the park, you know, you may be able to find a little bit more and then kind of put your own story together.
And it sounds like, let's see, the Play Disney app can be used to read the names on some of the X-Wing suits printed in the Star Wars language of Arabish. So there's going to be a translator on there that you can use on your phone as you walk through, and you can find all the names of the people.
Very cool.
Pretty cool. As you enter the heart of the Resistance Command, a familiar droid appears, BB-8. He comes bearing a hologram of Ridley as Rey, telling visitors they have to board a transport soon for a mission led by Poe Dameron. So do you think that BB-8's actually going to move like up, or do you think it's going to be like a stagnant...
You know what they'll do is they did this in... the Frozen ride where they had the robot kind of move back and forth. And so what they do is they have them on like a Lazy Susan type thing. But what they'll do is you won't be able to see the actual ground, but they'll probably move him back and forth and maybe even a good, you know, amount of space. But since you can't see the ground, they'll just have the ball will roll and then it will follow you along. I bet you that's how they'll do it. You just won't be able to see the bottom. You know what I mean? Where the ball touches the ground.
Probably the easiest way.
Yeah, so I bet you he'll follow you.
So from there, you're going to hustle past Poe Dameron's X-Wing and into the cargo bay of a transport flown by another well-known Star Wars figure, Nien-Nunb, the Celestin alien co-pilot who helped Lando Calrissian blow up the second Death Star. Do they have a picture of him? They don't.
No.
He's the one they call the Pancake Kid in the fan base.
He's like a stack of pancakes with a mouth and eyes.
An animatronic version of the character barks at his passengers from the front, his jowls flapping like a stack of pancakes. Oh. For the voice, Imagineers hired Kenyan actor Kipsang Rotik, who spoke the dialogue for the character in Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens.
Cool.
Okay, so little small details. Once the transport closed, visitors will watch on monitors as they are clear for takeoff. Before the ship rises, Isaac, which they should just call him Poe Dameron, but whatever, emerges from the control center and climbs onto his X-Wing, continuing to communicate with Nub and your ship as he lift off into space.
Well, we got to back up for just a minute. Look, that's the actual ride. That's not a production painting. That's the ride.
So this is probably, we were talking about, probably going to be some kind of screen.
Yeah.
And then all the stormtroopers would be some kind of animatronic or something.
Right. And this over here, this is the ride vehicle right here. Oh. So this is your tour guide, the R2 unit, and then these are the seats behind it. So this is the tour vehicle right here. It's the left lower corner.
Right here, this black.
Yeah, so that's probably the transport vehicles that they're talking about.
So before long, your convoy is intercepted by a First Order Star Destroyer. Poe can't fight it off on his own, so he has to retreat, promising to bring back help. A tractor beam pulls up the transport into the destroyer, which I don't know how they're going to do that, or if you have any ideas how they're going to accomplish that.
I'm so waiting for that. That should be cool. So far, this is pretty neat because it seems like part of it is a walkthrough, part of it is a dark ride, and then this part, I don't know how the hell they're going to do this.
I don't either. And when the doors open, guests are standing in a giant auditorium because you're still not in the ride at this point. It sounds like you're like being transported
Pulls you
to
to
the
transport
ride.
into the yeah. So maybe those ride vehicles aren't even used yet.
The stormtroopers will be animatronic with slight movement suggesting they are alive, but they'll also be slightly smaller. Well, yeah. The hangar that you're going to be in is truly massive. Ooh, look at this. Pretty cool.
TIE fighter.
Let's see. You'll see at the disparity of this image showing the TIE fighter on a distant wall is significantly smaller than the humans working on it. What? Significantly smaller? It looks pretty... Oh, I get what they're saying.
The people are smaller.
All right. Move along, Resistance scum. That's not normally the way Disney ride operators talk to guests, but in this case, the First Order guides will have license to be rotten. They're the bad guys. So, here's some pictures of the queue. I guess this will be where you're Do you think this is where you're riding through?
This says it's the interrogation room, so I don't know if this is still a walkthrough section or not. This seems like this part's walkthrough to me.
Yeah, it's really weird. I don't know. Let's see. From there, the visitors are hustled into a room smaller to the one where Kylo Ren once tortured Poe Dameron. You don't stay here long. Soon you'll learn something valuable the Resistance will need to fight the First Order. And once you get broken out of the cell, the real ride continues. See, so I don't know if, this is the ride floor or if that's the part you walk through.
Or if you're in a ride vehicle, then you get out and then get into another ride vehicle. I don't know.
That would be really weird. But kind of interesting.
But let's just back up. Okay, so you get on that transport, right? And that's the one that Leia brought in Force Awakens.
Yeah.
So in a previous thread we showed, you could see the vehicle. So I think that's how you get on the ride. So you go actually into that transport vehicle, and I believe... Then they say you get caught in a tractor beam. So then is that maybe a kind of, what do they call those?
Like the motion sim?
Yeah, like a motion sim. And then you get caught in a tractor beam and then you get out of that ship and then...
Force through a queue, maybe, and then you get on the ride?
And then you get onto this ride vehicle with those dark R2 units, driving you around. I don't know.
So there were rumors that this ride was going to last 28 minutes. The officials say it's not. It could be more, it could be less. But we were talking about it earlier that this whole queue seems like it's part of the ride, really.
It definitely enhances the ride, that's for sure.
Once you flee the interrogation room, you board a trackless cart that will guide you through the rest of the ride, gliding through the hangar that contains 2 towering AT-ATs and eventually bring you face to mask with Kylo Ren.
Ooh.
Okay, so yeah, there's the cart. It looks like it only seats maybe 4 people.
And by the way, that's real. That's not a production painting.
It's pretty cool. Exactly how he and Finn appeared in the ride is still under wraps, but Imagineers confirmed that both Driver and Boyega are involved in bringing the characters to life. It is unclear how the ride will conclude, but it's safe to assume it ends up returning you to Black Spire Outpost, most likely near the wreckage of a giant starship where scrap merchant Savi, the local secret lightsaber builder, is known for recovering materials.
Okay.
So that's Rise of the Resistance.
That's awesome.
Seems like a very ambitious ride.
Yeah, it seems like it's going to have a lot of different components to it, too. So it's going to be partially a walkthrough, maybe a simulator, and a dark ride, all in one.
John S. says, oh, geez, they must be expecting the wait to be long. I mean,
by making the queue. Yeah, exactly.
It sounds exciting, though.
Oh, And it sounds like there's a lot of things to do in the queue. So if you have the app, you can kind of decipher some of the, the writing and then the names of the different resistance fighters.
But let us know which ride you would prefer, Rise of the Resistance or
Smuggler's Run.
Look at that.
I don't know, just based on that, I don't know, Smuggler's Run looks pretty cool.
I'm already sold. All right, so the new tour of
Take my money, Disney.
The Millennium Falcon doesn't reveal itself right away. It waits to be found. Okay, so the life-size starship is a centerpiece of the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run ride, which will finally give fans the chance to fly the fastest ship in the galaxy when the new park expansion opens in Anaheim this summer. Okay. Let's see. You approach from the same perspective that Luke Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi had when they first laid eyes on Han Solo and Chewbacca's ride for the first time in 1977. You'll be more impressed than they were, but it's still not the Falcon in its peak physical condition. It's pocked with blaster burns. Well, when we saw it, it looked like that anyway. And its thrusters are gasping to activate. It's a little worse for wear. The Imagineering creative person said, "You're going to hear the engines trying to turn over as they try to activate some of the systems." That's pretty cool.
That is really cool. I wonder if those engines are going to light up, too, in the back.
Ooh.
That'd be kind of scary to be right behind those engines when they start firing up.
And you're going to possibly see Chewie walking around the rooftop looking like he's working on stuff, which will be cool. And wouldn't it be great if it was this empty?
Yeah. But see how there's like the resistance guys in this section, the stormtroopers, but there isn't. I mean, First Order, I'm sorry. Like, First Order stormtroopers in this section where, like, the buildings are. And in the other section, you never see any of the stormtroopers.
Yeah, you don't.
There's got to be some kind of hidden way to get into that other section.
So at this point in the Falcon's history, Han Solo is no longer with us. Aw. But porgs are. Oh.
Yay. I want to eat a porg.
I mean...
on a stick.
Porridge?
No, I don't want to see it liquefied. I don't want to drink it.
Chewie is partnered with the Weequay space pirate Hondo Ohnaka, a charming scoundrel from the Clone Wars and Rebels animated shows, to fund refurbishment of the Falcon while using it to run contraband throughout the galaxy.
Oh, you guys, by the way, stay tuned because the exclusive is just about to happen.
So he's going to be the pilot of this ride, I guess. Hondo, not to be confused with Holdo. The ship is parked facing outward with its engines flanking a curved loading deck embedded in the mountainside that flames Black Spire Outpost. The Casablanca-like crossroads where this railroad chapter of the Star Wars is set. Casablanca, I guess. Okay.
Remember where the plane is there? And it's like, you get on that plane. I know that you know. You ain't getting on that plane.
Ray Thulu says, spoiler alert, there is no real ride. They'll just dose you with hallucinogens and shove you in a sensory deprivation chamber with a single LED screen playing Star Wars.
You know what? I wouldn't care.
That sounds cool.
That still sounds cool.
As long as you're still on board. Getting on board. One thing Disney Parks officials will not discuss is how they plan to manage crowds when Galaxy's Edge opens. But they did outline how they plan to make the long wait for Smuggler's Run more entertaining for visitors. Like the Indiana Jones ride that opened at Disneyland in 1995, the Millennium Falcon line will zigzag through passageways and storage rooms that serve as a prologue to takeoff. The line starts at the ground level, curves along the back of the Falcon so visitors get a closer look from that perspective. From there, you climb a set of stairs that lead to a catwalk circling the mechanic shop where other ships and engines are under repair. So you'll be able to walk around it, I guess, and get a vantage point. So this goes over basically what you're going to see.
Well, the thing that's going to be cool is they built this whole ship, so they're not going to give you a view of the top of the ship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in the queue, in the ride line, they're going to have a vantage point where you can look down at the Millennium Falcon, which is going to be crazy cool, and I'll probably poo myself.
And if you have the Disney Play app on your phone, you can scan shipping crates and review the true contents of what Hondo is trying to send around the galaxy.
Uh-oh.
So then you enter the control room.
Porgs.
You enter the control room, and you're going to be able to see Hondo. So, should we show him?
All right, you guys, this is the exclusive. Are you sitting down? Here we go.
This is pretty cool.
This is Hondo. These are the Disney Imagineers. This is state of the art, baby. I have not seen this on anybody else's thread. We found this by accident. There he is. So cool. Let's do it again.
Let's do one more shot.
This is an exclusive, guys. Like I said, I have not seen this on anybody's.
He's a very advanced animatronic, and they're getting better and better at this stuff. If you watched, I believe it's 2 videos ago on Walt's Vault, we showed an animatronic of Belle. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah. And if you noticed on the robot, before they put the clothes and everything, there's a speaker right in the stomach. So what they've learned is, like when you go to Pirates and stuff like that, the sound is all around you. But this looks like the sound is going to come from this character. You know what I mean? Versus like speakers around you.
Yeah, it's in his chest.
Yeah, it's in his chest. So I think that's going to add to some of the legitimacy and make him seem more real. That was really awesome, man. That was so cool.
Let's see. They should have someone dress up like that every day.
That dude was a robot, man. There was nobody dressed up.
Raythulu says Hondo looks cool. John says, whoa, cool, first live action Hondo. Yeah, it was an animatronic. It's the slightly shady personality that Imagineers...
Are we going to have to show it again so they know? That wasn't a person in a costume, you guys. That was a robot.
So... Along the wait line, revealed that he's running blasters to help the resistance. We should show it one more
Wait
time.
a minute, then why do I need the app play? It just says he's running blasters.
Yeah, he tells you, I guess. The resistance gets some supplies they need and make Hondo a very, very rich Requay. Thoroughbreed says, we'll of course share in the profits with Hondo if we're successful on our mission. We'll split it 90-10. Carry the 1 minus the 10%. It will work out in the end somehow.
No, it won't.
That's terrible. The opportunity to bring a character from animation into real life was something that we never had done before.
You did it with Belle.
You did it with Belle, and it was pretty cool. You've actually done it with a lot of things. Carrie Beck. Oh, she's from a Lucasfilm. Wait,
No.
Then she really has done it. Whatever. This is actually a new moment in his journey that we'll get to experience here in the park. While the Hondo animatronic assesses the room full of would-be smugglers, his assistant, a grubby astromech droid R528, summons the Falcon. In the windows behind Hondo, which are actually a video screen, you'll see the Falcon rise up from its place in the courtyard and lower down to the interior dock. The Falcon outside
Okay, this
never
is
moves.
how they'll move it. Okay.
So they make it look like the one outside moves. Which is
Right,
cool.
so then you can load it inside the ride itself.
So let's see. This is going to be the actual mission. So the final moment of waiting may be just as exciting as the ride itself. After consulting with Hondo, guests will be led down a bridge. Let me make sure that video isn't still playing. Okay. I just want to make sure. Because somebody said we couldn't hear you over the sound. Can you guys hear the sound when we play it? Because we have the sound disabled. Interesting. Okay.
I don't even know what the sound was. I haven't heard it.
It was just music. Okay. So here's the actual mission. The final moments of waiting may be just as exciting as the ride itself. After consulting with Hondo, guests will be led down a jet bridge into a familiar location, the Falcon's chess room, where C-3PO once advised, "Let the Wookiee win." At this point, I thought that Han said that. Whatever. At this point, guests have already been assigned a flight group and a number. Hondo and Chewie need 2 pilots, 2 gunners, 2 flight engineers for each run.
Oh, okay. So then you get assigned those positions, and that's what you're going to do while you're, in the simulator.
I want to be a gunner. What do you want to be?
A gunner?
Nobody wants to be a flight engineer.
I'll flip you for it. I'll arm wrestle you for it.
There's room for 2. Let us know what
Yeah,
you
but
guys
what if
think.
there's somebody else? We'll have to take him down.
I'm going to be so mad if it's like some 5-year-old kid that's just going to be pushing random buttons.
I'll just trip him.
You take this seriously. An operator will call out the number of each group when it's time to take off. In the meantime, you are free to roam about the cabin. Ooh. But it's
What? No way. People are going to be sitting on that, playing that chess game.
Some woman's going to be changing her baby on this.
No. No. Drinking your moof juice.
Her moof juice. Okay. This was done because of...
But this is going to be so cool because you're going to go down that hall and into the cockpit area. You're literally going to get to go through the Millennium Falcon to get to the cockpit. The only thing is, are they going to have to explain something a little bit different to fire the cannons? Because don't you go into a separate section in the movie, right? You sit in those chairs to fire...
Yeah, you go into the little ball turret.
Yeah, so I don't know how they're going to explain that.
The sound was dramatic music. Good to know that when we screen share, the sound still comes through because that's gonna make Kiss Corner a lot easier.
Yeah, we didn't know that. Thank you guys.
Kalama says this was done because Imagineers knew fans would want some time to explore this part of the ship and take pictures without restriction.
How long do you think that privilege is going to stay before they take it away from people?
Like maybe the opening week.
It's not going to last long. Just like the Chewie walking around on top of the Millennium Falcon, that's not going to last long.
No, you got to enjoy it while it's in the early stages.
Get in early.
Obviously, it's all a recreation, but after the immersive experience of Galaxy's Edge as a whole, the role play that comes from waiting in line, it's easy to get carried away with the emotion and the attention to detail. Many fans will be wandering the space like Luke in The Last Jedi, remembering all that once unfolded, except there'll be like a baby crying in the background and... There'll be a bunch of people pushed up against you.
Why do you gotta do this?
You're not gonna be able to be like old friend and touch things.
As somebody's bumping into you and you drop your ice cream.
Some kids whining about wanting a churro. The Smuggler's Run ride has a choose-your-own-adventure quality that allows your actions to determine the outcome of this mission. They really are in control of the ship. It's a completely interactive experience, Throwbridge says. If gunners don't fire and hit the TIE fighter, maybe you'll get some shocks and take some damage on the ship, and then you'll have to fix it. The job of the flight engineers seated in the back will have to push buttons to extinguish fires or redirect power. And if pilots don't fly right to avoid that oncoming mountain, your ship is going to smash into the wall. That's going to be so annoying. You're truly in control.
Because there's going to be people that are just going to crash it on purpose.
Like this dumb little girl's just going to be like, just like...
Stop looking at me. Look forward.
Throwing the wheel around.
This lady right here, she's not even firing the cannons.
No, she's not doing her job. She's holding the seat.
Yeah,
and she's not wearing a seatbelt.
Dang it.
Will there be any hint of L337? Lando Calrissian's droid? I hope not. Co-pilot.
Wasn't that the sad sacky robot?
Yeah.
That just wanted a date?
That wanted droid rights. There are interesting things you can discover in the cockpit.
Wait, which one had the crush on Lando? Was that the one?
Yeah, that was L337. And her consciousness joined with the Falcon in that movie, which was really weird.
Oh, no.
So maybe you'll push a button and she'll be like, I'm sassy and I'm gonna...
Oh, she's gonna narrate the ride.
No!
She will, I guarantee you.
The actual mission was not operational for EW Take a Spin. Oh, they didn't let the interviewers do it. But we did see concept art of the Falcon flying through a cavernous cistern with a giant tentacled beast lashing out. We saw that too in our other exclusive video.
Not impressed.
Okay, so then you land back, where you last left the Falcon. Your reputation as a smuggler will travel with you. However, the Disney Play app on your phone tracks your experience and transmits that information throughout Galaxy's Edge. Ooh, that's cool. Go into Olga's Cantina for a...
Wait a minute, I just thought of something. Okay, so when you get out of the ride, you know how they said there's going to be sounds and stuff from the Millennium Falcon? I wonder if they're going to have, like, when you're coming out, just, like, big mist, like, and then the engines are like, you know, like they're just, like, powered down. That would be awesome. And also that would be a show for just people that are walking around.
I would like that. That'd be
because
cool.
if it's landing, they have to give you some kind of, like,
indication
that it's just landed, yeah.
Go into Olga's Canteen for a post-flight Bespin Fizz, and the bartender might say something like, "Aren't you a part of the crew that wrecked the Falcon? Honda's pretty unhappy with you." That's cool. Not happy with your story, you can always change it. You'll have to go back in line and try again. So speaking of Bespin Fizz...
I have a feeling Disney's not going to let me in that park very long. They're going to go, you have your hour, now get out.
Oh, wait, we got the toys.
How are they going to get people in and out? No, this one's even better. So, from what I understand, like... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, if that's the case in the Play app, which John says it seems like the Play app is a must-have.
Yeah. From what I understand is, you know how the wands at the Harry Potter Hollywood, Universal Studios works? I think if you have these droids... the droids will react to things. Like there's going to be a chip in them, so they're going to react to stuff as well. So you'll have the app, which will be free, but if you buy one of these droids, I think it's going to help you, or it can enhance your experience as well.
With the app?
Yeah, because you can see them here. They're really these little tiny robots. So you'll make like little miniature robots, and I think they'll actually help you. From what I read, there's going to be a chip and they'll interact, kind of like the Harry Potter wands did in the Hogwarts section.
That's very cool. My mom got sassed by the wand person last time she was there.
She went? Have you been?
I haven't been. They went without me.
Oh, man. So this is, just to back up, this is a build your own droid. You can build your own droid here.
Yes, this is the build your own droid shop.
I wonder if they come in different sizes, though.
I only wanted to say about that last thing where they said that, like, you know, your status follows you from what you did on the Falcon. Since I was so, like, obsessive compulsive as a kid, if one of the guys told me, like, you crashed a ship, I'd be like, we gotta go back right now and fix it. Like,
I gotta fix it. And your mom's like, no, that's an hour of your life.
We're not going back there. We have to.
I have to save the Resistance. So
these are the shops. The first one is Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities, which is, of course, this one that we saw.
Yes.
Let's see. Have you been attentive to Doc Ondar? Qui Ra asks a servant in Solo. Wow, they tied a lot into Solo. Okay, so I guess that's mentioned in that movie. Doc Ondar is an Ithorian, better known as Hammerheads, after the nickname given to the one who first ended up in the cantina in 1977's original Star Wars. This one is older with a wisp of white hair and an elegant cloak. They don't have a picture of him swirling around him. Is he going to be...
I've seen a concept drawing of him, but he's not in this shot.
I wonder, is he going to be like a in costume guy or
a robot maybe?
He is the gatekeeper of the black market, says Margaret, managing story editor of Walt Disney Imagineering. If you are from somewhere in the galaxy and you have a one-of-a-kind valuable rare item that you want to sell, you know to come to Batu to look for Black Spire Outpost and look for an infamous Ithorian.
I do. An Oodles of Doodles book.
I wonder if they'll have one.
They're very rare. They're selling out.
There's only 200 available. Actually, less than that now.
Yeah, we sold like 100 of them.
There's about half of them available, if even that. You can see some collectibles in his shop. Ooh, can we smuggle one in and take a picture in his shop? Like
we could.
It's one of the items.
We could. Let's do that.
In one glass aquarium, there's a pustule, of a creature that looks like a baby Dianoga, the eyeball stalk creature. Okay. They got a taxidermied wampa. That's going to be cool. I can't wait to take a selfie with that, like every other obnoxious girl in that shop. And let's see. We wanted to match him exactly to the film, so they modeled him after the wampa, of course, in The Empire Strikes Back. You'll have... it actually is the one that attacked Luke. You'll have to study his arm for lightsaber burns to know for sure if it's the Doc Ondar collected one.
Ooh.
Okay, so here's a gallery of some of the merchandise. There's also Savi's lightsabers. The sign, which you can translate with the Disney Play app, says Savi and Son Salvage. But that's
I guess that's over the door, right? Yeah.
Yes, this whole thing. Building lightsabers is not something the First Order occupiers in Blackspire Outpost will tolerate, so Savi's actually keeping it low-key, helping to equip Force-sensitive warriors seeking a more elegant weapon.
You know what? I did. This is also coming back to me. The new Star Wars, like Star Wars 9, is they said that there's going to be a lot of Han Solos, like thuggy buddies, like what are they? What the heck are they called?
Smugglers?
Smugglers, yeah. Smugglers. So, oh my gosh, this is going to tie. Because if you think about, like, the reason this park is going to be so cool is because there's a criminal element to it, right?
Yeah.
Like, everybody wants to feel like they're getting away with something. So,
Spy stuff.
it's not like you're just going to be able to walk in and get this lightsaber. You're going to have to there's going to be a false facade. You know what I mean? That you're going to have to go through. Sneaky to get in, because lightsabers are probably illegal.
This guy is like so excited about getting this child an illegal weapon. Look how happy
Look
he
at
is.
how happy he is. He's breaking the law. He's teaching that kid how to break the law. But I wonder if they're going to have something like if you flash that lightsaber around the park, if you're going to get in trouble or not.
That'd be cool.
That would be way cool.
Do you think they're going to make any cloaks or jackets out of the voodoo hide so that you can be immune to lightsabers?
Oh my god.
Or the Zusha fabric?
You're such a geek.
The word voodoo just makes me laugh. Okay, this is how expensive they're going to be.
Wait a minute, $50,
Well,
$109.
These are a bit... Okay, so let's see. Guests will sign up... Ooh, building lightsabers not something First Order occupies. Okay. Guests will sign up for a build session and can choose from assorted parts to assemble a lightsaber that is unique to their personality. This isn't the plastic Hasbro blade builder you can buy in any terrestrial store. These are a bit more detailed in advance, with a finished hilt costing about $109.
Well, yeah, they better be for $109.
But that's just for the hilt.
Okay.
The blade itself is $50 extra.
Oh, wait a minute. I thought that was two different versions. So it's over $160.
So you can have the hilt to like hang on your belt to look like you have a lightsaber that can't activate, or you can have the whole thing for a lot of money.
I wonder if you could just buy them separate. Why would they even charge you separately?
I don't know, because you would. Well, I could see you wanting the hilt separately, but I couldn't see you just wanting a blade.
Yeah, but why wouldn't they just sell it one time where it could detach or something, right? Why wouldn't it just be one charge?
Because they want to make nickel and dime off of us.
That is like $160.
I know, and like they have kids holding them. Like these kids aren't gonna get those.
That dad's like, yeah, I had to work 2 weeks for that lightsaber.
She's gonna say I'm gonna find it on her floor in her room in a week and be really mad.
He'll be out in the backyard, in the shrubs.
Did I ever tell you? You know they have when they do the parade at Disneyland, they have those plastic lightsabers that you can they're like rainbow colored and you can make them like periscope out. When I was a kid, my mom bought me one, and within a second, I flinged it out and I hit the concrete and it broke off in like a second.
Yeah.
It was a good
Well,
day.
these will probably break just as easy, but you'll have spent $160 on it. I'm telling you right now, you're not going to see a lot of kids walking around with lightsabers in this park.
It'll be grown people with them in boxes carrying them around preciously.
Yeah.
So there are several styles you can choose to build. Peace and justice. I wonder if we can build justice and vengeance, which includes designs you see on the Jedi, or power and control, which makes dark side styles. Elements in nature, which features more raw natural materials like rancor tooth or sacred wood. And protection and defense, which is more ancient and archaic. So there's a bunch of different styles you can make.
They're all just various different types of plastic.
They said they wouldn't be cheap plastic, but they probably will be. So then there's...
They'll be expensive plastic.
Then there's Mubo's Droid Depot.
That's what I want to go into.
So you won't be able to walk out with a large and elaborate droid, but you can purchase a smaller droid about the size of a coffee machine that you can remote control around Blackspire Outposts. They'll also use beaconing technology to receive signals from other robots in the vicinity. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they have chips in them.
But how much will they be?
I don't know, but I'd rather spend $150 on a robot than a lightsaber.
And you can move it around at least. As with lightsabers, each one is...
Well, wait, so the kids will have a remote, so they can actually kind of be part of the experience. So they can... Well, those things are going to get those things are just going to get stomped by different people. But so you can remote control it like as you're walking, I guess.
That's gonna cause such chaos. And
Oh
people
man,
tripping over
kids are just gonna be crying like, "You stopped my R2 unit!"
Run up and kick their bald.
Because if they were bigger, then they wouldn't be able to be trounced, right? But if they're like the size of a coffee maker. Can you imagine somebody just comes out of like a shop and he just punts that thing across the park?
The BB-8.
It goes flying. Well, those things aren't going to last long either. So you guys make sure you get to the park early.
Well, you can choose between two basic models. You can choose an R, like the R2D2 or the R5D4. What kid's going to pick the R5D4? Or a BB unit, the ball-style droid. So we can achieve the dream of kicking one of those things across the park. The store is set up almost like a cafeteria. There's a conveyor belt you can walk along and choose the pieces to build your droid. An assembly area where you put together, a chip station where you select a personality circuit, and finally an activation center where your personal robot first comes to life. Large-scale droids circulate around the shop while you work. That's going to be disappointing because you're going to be like, I want one of those.
Yeah.
And part of the protocol droids dangle from conveyor hooks above like clean clothes dryers, whatever. Clean clothes and dry cleaner shops. Okay. And then there's these.
You know what they were saying? Like they're gonna look like one of a kind, like handmade toys. Like these still look like Hasbro toys, right? They don't look.
Okay, this is for you, Art, and also the chat. If you had to pick one of these, which one would you pick?
I'd like the Cyber Frog.
Is that this one?
Yeah. Oh, you want the one that looks like that's a Nerf herder or whatever.
I want this stupid looking thing.
You think that's a Nerf?
I don't know. Is it a Nerf?
Because they said Nerf herders. It's the only thing that looks like a cow.
But they said a scruffy Nerf herder. That thing's not scruffy.
No, the scruffy part is the person that's herding the Nerfs.
That's derogatory.
Well, of course it is. That's why he said it.
Han
Solo is not a nice man.
I want this so I can look at it with like the most regret. When I go home, because like...
Oh, I know where these are. These are the ones that are in that pet place. So these aren't supposed to be toys. They're actually supposed to be like pets. Okay,
yeah,
that's why they look this way.
Yeah, because it says, remember, everything in Galaxy's Edge is in character. So you're not buying a stuffed porg doll, you're buying a pet.
Okay, so they probably come in those little cages or something, right?
And it says that the baby Tauntaun squawks and coos when you pet it. The miniature tentacle beast, Rathars, shudders savagely, and they all move and stuff. You get it. And apparently larger versions of these creatures will populate some of the cages, and they're going to be like moving around and stuff.
Okay.
Then we have the Toydarian toy shop.
This is the one. Yeah.
I want this.
No, you don't.
It's wood.
What is it? I don't even know what it is.
It's a wooden porg.
That's a porg?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, gosh.
It looks Native American.
I don't know. Why would somebody make a toy of Rey?
And you can get a wooden frog and a drum.
With a little beater thing.
And a stick.
I don't know. These are starting to look a lot like the pets.
I don't like these.
I don't know.
Again, this isn't Earth. It's a galaxy far away, so they wouldn't be selling our action figures. These toys are like handmade stormtrooper. What?
No, they're not.
So they're supposed to be like look handmade, but they just look cheap.
You know what they look like? They look like when Toys R Us was around and you go into like the infant section.
It does.
You know, like this would be something like for a crib baby, you know? Look at the little Yoda.
That's so true.
They don't look handmade. They look machine made.
Yeah, they look machine made. They're just simple.
Yeah.
The premise is that
and they all look like they're made by the same person because all the characters are kind of in like a style.
Well, also this is weird because it says the premise of the Galactic Kids like toys made out of their heroes. Why would they have a Kylo Ren one then? Right.
And also if you were a kid and you were walking around Galaxy's Edge and you have these toys...
You're like the...
Do you think that the troopers are going to give you a hard time?
This is like... I know, because they're like, why are you carrying that Rey doll around?
Exactly. Is that Chewbacca?
All I know is this is like the toy my mom would get me, because she'd be like, I'm not buying you a $150 lightsaber. Take this stuff.
No, what your mom would get you is this little, like...
Drum?
Like either... Or no, probably the box. Just a box.
There's nothing in it. It's what you deserve.
Well, I'll tell you one. You have it up on me. You know what my parents would have said?
Nothing.
You can't have any of it.
Well, I was making a fantasy, but...
Well, if you're gonna fantasize, then like go for the lightsaber or the R2 unit.
This. I don't know what it is.
The drum?
Wait, is this thing right here that instrument that the Cantina band plays?
It is.
Oh my gosh, I really do want that.
And then you can pound the drum.
See, that's like...
And is this Ray's staff? What is that?
I don't know
what the heck that is.
Oh wait, that's that thing, isn't it?
Are they both instruments?
They look like flutes.
No, this looks like something you blow into right there.
But I think this has it too.
I don't see anything you blow into.
All I know is that this would be funny for 20 seconds until your dad just grabs it from you.
From
Like,
you.
stop playing that thing.
And also, that's probably the size of an actual child. So if you buy one of those for your kid, they're going to be lugging that thing around the whole day.
I want one.
You're going to be eating your lunch, and some kid's going to be blowing that thing right next to you.
I'm going to kick it along with their BB-8. Speaking of eating lunch.
How long do you think that drum's going to last in that part, too? They're going to pull those things because kids are going to be pounding those things.
You're trying to enjoy your Rise of the Resistance. Some kids just hitting that drum. Stop it! We're trying to hear the pre-show. Okay, so the food is going to have a story. The part that you guys have all been waiting for. Let's see.
Is that the milk?
The
green milk and blue milk.
That's the moof. What the heck was it called?
No, moof juice is not the milk. Yeah.
Let me see. Okay, so here is the
bar. Yeah.
Yeah, the cantina. And
there's Rex.
Where's? Oh yes.
He's up in the left-hand corner.
He is. That's Rex for sure. From Star Tours. Okay. So it's blue milk time, and they have a name of some of this. So there's the blue milk. It's called, where's the name of it? You can also get green, which, why would you?
That's the stuff that Luke drank from that thing, right? That was on the island.
I don't want that.
I think that's what that is. Wasn't it green?
I think it was. That's disgusting. I'd rather like the blue milk.
Well, if you think about milk in general,
I think that is what it is.
Where it comes from. Come on, Taylor.
Yeah, but I didn't drink milk as a kid.
Oh.
I was a formula baby.
It came from a teat. You've never had milk before?
I hate milk, actually.
Okay. Hate?
No, I really do hate milk. I refuse to drink it.
Is it because it comes from a cow's teat?
No, I hate the taste of it. It tastes weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
It tastes funny.
It tastes good with a chocolate chip cookie, though.
Let's see.
Which, by the way, I'm going to start eating.
I'll tell you, it's not actually milk, says the Imagineer. Well, yeah. It's plant-based dairy, essentially rice milk, which makes it easier for everyone to enjoy, even the lactose intolerant.
Oh, God.
It's soft frozen like a milkshake. Interesting.
What?
It's a lot like a smoothie.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's more like a milkshake. Ew.
Yeah, it is the green stuff. Look
No.
at that.
I'll drink the blue one. I'm not drinking the green one. So Oga's Cantina is of course the main drink station. It's an indoor watering hole across town. So the blue milk is called the Blue Bantha, and it comes garnished with a sugar cookie, topped with a rice crisp and a bantha horn made out of frosting. So it's pretty much cookies and milk. Let's see. They have a gallery. Oh, I guess it's below. The Blue Bantha is non-alcoholic, but Oga's Cantina will be the first place guests in Disney will be able to drink booze in the Southern California park. Among the adult beverages is the Bloody Rancor, a variation of Bloody Mary. By the way, chime in on which of these drinks you guys would choose if you had to or if you wanted to.
How about the fuzzy Tanton or Tauntaun?
The fuzzy Tauntaun. Think the fuzzy navel. And a Bespin Fizz. Kind of a rum-based bubbling twist on the Cosmopolitan. That sounds good. Let's see. Is that Oga in the concept art? Maybe, but probably not. Well, she has to be in there, I would assume. If you had to choose from any of these drinks, what would you pick, Art? The Bloody Bantha, a Fuzzy Tauntaun, a Bespin Fizz?
I think probably the Bloody Mary.
It sounds, I don't know. I think they have a picture of it down here, but they should have put it up earlier so I could show everybody.
I used to drink those after bingers. They're supposed to sober you up.
Because it has salt. Okay, so Rex is, of course, in there. He's DJing, as you can see up here, so he'll be in the bar for you to go and see. And this is Docking Bay 7 Food and Cargo, which is right here.
Okay, maybe somebody in the chat can help out. So 77 is on one of the doors of the ship there, but then it says 83. I speculate that that's when the last Star Wars movie was made of the three. So 77 to 83, the original trilogy, maybe.
You know what? You might be right because we know for sure the 77, but I didn't know the 83. That's probably likely.
And then right below it, over here, I think there's an eating area. So there's a restaurant. I think it's a cafeteria type restaurant. And then where the debris rock wall is there, I think there's a little courtyard there where you can eat.
Because the story is apparently this thing is like a space food truck. I'm not even joking. And that he's dropping off meals for customers below. So when you're eating down there in that courtyard, it's supposedly from that ship. Let's see. Okay, so 77. See, dangling. Oh yeah, you're right. It says it's marked with an 80. The other one is still aboard. Those are the release years of the original trilogy.
Oh, cool.
So let's see what they got here. And then they got Ronto roasters.
That's where I want to go.
This place looks cool.
That's an engine, man.
Yeah, it's
a pod engine.
A pod racer engine, yeah. And that's going to be barbecuing up food here. A Ronto is the dinosaur-like four-legged lizard beast that a Jawa was seen riding through Mos Eisley. Okay.
I think they're going to be like hot dogs wrapped in a pita, right? Like...
I believe so, because there you can get food is getting like cooked there. But it's a barbecue. Let's see. Food is being cooked robot, just a pop. The real stuff is actually, they don't have a name of it. The meat beneath the slow roaster. You get barbecue pork accompanied by grilled sausage, cold slaw, chalupa. So you can also get Kat Sokka's kettle corn, which I guess is a character that's there. Basically, it's space popcorn. That's what it says. I didn't make that up.
Well, it's supposed to be like spicy with like sweet, so yeah. I don't know, it could be interesting.
It comes in a variety of sweet, salty, or spicy varieties.
Oh, I thought they were all mixed into one.
I did too.
I think that would be better, right?
Yeah, because I don't know why you wouldn't.
I'd want the salty and the sweet and then the spicy all together. That could be interesting.
Yeah, every other thing we've seen about this seems like it was going to be a mix of flavors because they're different colors. I wouldn't want just spicy or something.
Yeah. Well, that's how they're going to get you. You're going to buy 3 different packages and mix them.
Yeah, so that's the food. I'll show this real quick because there was another article here that showed all the food, if it'll actually let me move. So they have a glimpse here, which I think this is like a tofu thing for the vegetarians. But
yeah, I think that first one's there's gonna be like a high-end sit-down restaurant, right? This is not just walk around food.
This is the fancier. This is like the pork rib. It's called smoked cadu. And then this down here, which this website keeps freezing, or I would show you. There's a dessert. So that's a smoked cadu, and then they have these 2 desserts here, which that's at that docking bay 7.
Okay.
So you can see they have like a chocolate cream puff and stuff. But it's all like themed to look spacey and weird. And then you can get these tacos.
Yeah, this is what I was thinking. Like, it's a hot dog with a pita. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
So you can eat a hot dog and a pita bread bun at Ronto Roasters with a Portuguese sauce.
I don't know what that is, but
I don't either.
Shouldn't that be themed with some Star Wars name? Portuguese sauce?
They're like, you can have a Batu burger with Portuguese sauce.
You can have a burrito. Wait a minute, a burrito? This is Star Wars. Oh, you can see it there. There's the entrance to the restaurant right there.
There it is. We just got a super chat by F Google. Thank you. And F Google says, that looks disgusting.
Well, you don't have to eat here. There's other dining options at the Disney park. I don't know.
Rhaegar says burnt steaks, and Raythulu says I want that insatiated yeast stuff that Rhea ate in TFA. Oh, that Ray ate. You're talking about that bread.
Yeah, what did she put, like water in it or something, and then it just kind of swelled up.
Instant reconstituted. He said yes.
Yeah.
I thought I read your typo, something Star Warsy. I was like, what's that? Okay, so last article we have here, and this is about, of course, the app that we keep talking about.
Yeah, this will be fun.
So your phone will unlock the action inside Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Star Wars characters have droids to help them explore the world. You'll have your smartphone, or a droid if you buy one. As they explore Blackspire Outpost inside Galaxy's Edge, guests will be able to use Play Disney Parks app, which it seems like is kind of a must-have at this point.
Yeah.
Really good experience. To learn more about events unfolding around them, become part of the story. Okay, so...
Can you imagine? I just thought about this. Okay, if the Play app is going to be that pivotal to this experience, everybody's now going to be looking down at their phone. So you're probably going to get more accidents than you ever have before because everybody's going to be looking at their phone instead of where they're going.
That's so true.
So you're going to be bumping into
Also, I don't know about you, but my phone like dies really quickly, so I'm gonna have to have like a battery attached to it doing all this stuff.
Well, you have eye product, right?
Yeah, I know.
Batteries are horrible.
The iPhone's one of its many flaws is of course the battery. So apparently one of the things you're gonna be able to do is hack on things because there are scores of surveillance boxes embedded in walls around town, and you can use the Play Disney app to hack into them by solving a simple puzzle.
Ooh, I like that.
Then you can choose to either deactivate them to help the resistance or reactivate them to aid the First Order. As time goes on, the game runs out and the winner is declared.
Ooh.
That's very cool.
And while you're doing that, you're bumping into people. Tripping. Do you know what a flat tire is, Taylor?
Yes.
And giving flat tires to all your friends.
It's gonna start so many fights when you like spend like 5 minutes like, come on Daniel, I need to go, and it's like, I want to hack the system.
I'm almost in.
But we need to go, come on.
I'm almost in. Oh, somebody bumped me, I dropped my phone. Damn it. Now I gotta start all over again.
We're not doing it again. So one of the other things, which is one of the cooler things, is that the app is going to help you translate, of course, Arabesh. Somebody in the chat last time could read Arabesh, which I thought was interesting.
That's pretty cool. They don't need the app.
I almost got a tattoo in Arabesh one time, and then my mom was like, you're going to look so stupid having that when you start to hate Star Wars. And I was like, I'll never hate Star Wars.
You'll never hate Star Wars.
I won't, but I'm glad I didn't have one when I went and saw that last movie, because it was really embarrassing.
Okay, where was the tattoo going to be?
It was going to be on my, like, collarbone area, where I already have...
What was it going to say?
It was going to have... I had a bunch of different ideas. It was going to have, like, my brother's birth date and stuff in Arabesh.
Oh, that's cool.
Because I was like, no matter what, I'll always love my brother, I hope.
He's going through puberty now, so...
Yeah, unless he refuses to go to this ride with me.
So batten down the hatchet. Why would he not?
I don't know. Who knows with him? He's going through changes.
He's going through the change.
I took him to the Star Wars convention when it came through here in Anaheim, and he wanted to leave early, so who knows?
I still can't believe you got into that thing. That's
I know.
awesome.
The tickets sold out so fast, and like when it comes around this next time, we'll have to... well, I don't know when it's going to come around. I'll have to secure you a ticket so we can go and live stream from there. Because that'd be neato.
Yes, we will do
Instead
that.
of my stupid brother that made me leave early.
I won't do that.
Okay, so basically, as you walk around, you're going to be able to translate. And apparently, it's going to be able to translate voice, too. Because it says, as you walk through, there are amazing languages written on walls and carved in stone. You'll hear characters speaking in native alien tongue. The Translate app is a way for you to actually understand what they are saying.
That's awesome.
So you can do it with voice too, not just stuff on the walls, which is pretty cool. And there's a story behind the supposed junk dealers. They're secretly aiding the resistance by manufacturing lightsabers, so you'll be able to hear what they're saying. And then another thing that you can do is eavesdropping, which I could argue you could do without the app, but I'm sure this would be cooler. You can listen to broadcasts that are happening between the Resistance, the First Order, and various underworld gangs. There's communications going on all through the antennas that you see scattered about. So if you see an antenna, pull out your app because you can use it. To get an idea of what those transmissions are, try opening your tuning tool and you can locate transmissions that are being passed back and forth, sometimes between factions, sometimes just between villagers.
Oh my gosh, this is so cool.
We're gonna have to. It sucks though because it's so much stuff that like you're never gonna have to handle it in one trip.
Well, this is why you're gonna have to go to it several different times, especially when it's not as busy. Because I guarantee you, when it's busy, which it will be for at least the first year or so, you're just going to get to see the essentials. You know what I mean? You're not going to be able to enjoy most of this stuff.
Because one trip could be dedicated just to using your app to do this.
One trip might just be waiting in line for the Rise of the Resistance. Because I have a theory. I talked to an inside source I have that works at Disneyland. And I do believe that they're going to have some kind of crowd control. And it may have something to do with bracelets. So I'm not sure how the bracelets will work or how they're going to go about doing that, but they're definitely going to have some kind of crowd control situation because could you imagine the level of loitering in this park? Because even, I don't mean that in a bad way, I just, lack of a better term, that people are probably just going to be standing around looking at the app or just taking in the site. So not everybody's going to, because...
Taking pictures, just in awe.
Right, because usually if everybody's moving like a freeway, right? If everybody's moving in a direction and they're constantly moving, then there's not a lot of congestion. But as soon as you get a looky-loo, or as soon as you get somebody that veers from, what everybody else is doing, then you have congestion and you have,
it stops traffic flow.
Right, stops traffic flow. So I have a theory that they're probably going to minimize people's time in each one of these in the park. So I think they probably have a bracelet that allows you from this time to this time. I don't know how else they're going to get people through that park, because some people, if you think about it, they would just spend all day there.
Oh yeah. I was about to say, I wish this was the entire theme park.
Right. They would just go back there and they would spend 8 to 10 hours just in that area. And if you had everybody do that, you're not going to move anybody through that section, right?
Well, maybe that's why these things will help, because they can entertain you while maybe you're stuck at like a ride or something.
Well, it'll make it more entertaining while you're waiting, but it's not going to move people through lines. It's not going to get people through the actual park itself.
Maybe it'll force you to move around, because what you can do, and this is my favorite part of the app, is that let's see, one of the things you can do with it is getting hired. So you can basically take side missions. You can accept side missions on your app. And it says, you never actually choose a side, light or dark in Galaxy's Edge. Your unique story is dictated simply by the actions you take, which is the side you choose to support. It's also possible to go rogue by siding with one of the large local gangs who are playing both sides. The Play Disney Park app allows visitors to engage with some of the full-scale droids rolling around the village, which will help them learn more about the world on the street and who is looking for help. Visitors can sign on to take jobs with characters like Hondo Anaka, we know who he is, who may ask you to help him by finding transmissions and schematics for the First Order starship. There will be points and rewards for completing tasks, so you get a game adding the heft to your digital Star Wars profile. So you'll have like a character profile in your app, and you can get points by accepting jobs and doing different stuff. It's so cool.
What do you get with the points?
It says the ship schematic becomes something you have a copy of. So you'll get a copy of the ship schematics. When you find stuff, you'll keep them. And the venture within the land means you're collecting more and more information as you loop around. It doesn't say what you're going to get. It says report personal involvement. It'll heft your Star Wars profile. I don't know. It might be like, they might be like your gamer score if you're on like Xbox Live or something, where maybe it'll unlock certain merchandise you can get with it, or you'll probably have like a digital point system.
I think somehow they'll probably have a website attached to it.
Yeah.
And you can probably redeem it for something.
Which would be very cool. So that's all the latest news that we know, thanks to Entertainment Weekly and your digital tour of Galaxy's Edge.
Yes, and the Hondo robot, I haven't seen that anywhere else. So that, as far as I know, it's an exclusive for you guys. So we are digging deep here. We're trying to bring you the most up-to-date Star Wars Galaxy's Edge information. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this. And gosh, how many more months do we have? We have what are we? March, April, May, June. Yeah, so we have 3 months, around 3 months before it opens. So do you have any plans?
Gosh, I don't know. I have friends that are coming down to California. I guess they already have like hotels booked and stuff that they want to get in. I don't know what their exact plans are, or what their master plan is. I really want to go, but I just don't know if A, it's going to be enjoyable, or B, I'm going to even be able to get into that area.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Do you have a plan of like attack if you go?
Well, I heard one thing. And I heard the way they may be minimizing crowds. So if anybody, this is advice, you guys. If anybody has, what do they call those? Annual passes? Mm-hmm. They said what they're going to do is they're going to start doing soft openings. Which means, and I've had this happen before when I was an annual pass holder, that we got to go on Indiana Jones before it opened to the general public, and we were also let in to Disney Toontown before anybody else. So what they do, Taylor, is they'll open the doors so whoever's around the, that area, they let them in.
Oh my gosh.
And then they close the door. Yeah, so you get to hang out in the park and, test everything out and try everything out. And so what they're saying is the reason they're going to do this is in hopes that the annual pass holders will be appeased by the time it opens, meaning that those people won't come. They'll have already seen it.
I don't know about that.
And so then all the, the people, like you said, your friends and stuff like that are coming from different places to go in the park and things like that. Then, it'll be available to them without as much overcrowding. I think I don't know, what else can they do? I think it's a good idea, and I think they can minimize some of that traffic by letting the pass holders in early.
It is a good idea.
Yeah.
It makes you want to be a pass holder.
Exactly. That was the advice I was going to say. Like, if you guys aren't, go get an annual pass now, and then maybe if you're loitering around or hanging around the entrance,
just go and stare at the entrance.
Yeah, they'll shoehorn you in. Because I remember we were just hanging out at the entrance of Toontown, and we were just kind of looking in, and then some guy just like, you want to go in? And just open the door. And then everybody was standing around that little area. They just, come on in. And so we went in, and then they closed the door. And there were already people in there. But I think what they were doing is just, as the day went on, they were letting, small groups of people in to enjoy it. And then they were letting them out and then bringing new people in. And also they can kind of test the ride, get so many hours logged in to see if there's any breakdowns, what's working, what's not working. But for me, I really want to go early because I have a feeling that like that Chewbacca walking around on the top of the Millennium Falcon and a lot of these little extras and things that we were reading, I don't think those things are going to be around long term because if you know
first run.
Yeah, if you know anything about these Disney attractions, a lot of times they have high hopes for things and they build them, but sometimes the reality doesn't work out. So like in, what was that, Expedition Everest in Florida in the Disney Animal Kingdom, there's a giant Yeti, Taylor, and was supposed to be the most articulate robot that Disney had done up to that time. Oh, excuse me, I gotta take a drink of water. Sorry.
I had actually heard about that before, and you're right. That is stuff that's usually first pass that they don't keep.
But what they did is that it ended up wearing out. So parts of it was very articulate, but parts of it kind of because it didn't stand up to the day-to-day, rigors, that they had to kind of do minimum motion. So it still moves, but it's not as articulate as it was. And even like the Indiana Jones Temple of Doom ride, there's the 3 rooms that we were... I don't know if we did it on one of these Walt's Vaults or if you and I were just talking while we were working in the studio. But there's the 3 rooms. So, there's the doors there, and it's like your adventure. And there's a pivoting room. You don't know it's pivoting, so when you go through the door, it's always a different room that you're entering. But behind that door that you don't see is the actual room. There's three separate rooms, and they're full size, and they pivot to give you a different adventure. So it seems like you're going into a different room and on a different journey. Well, what happened shortly after the attraction is that mechanism wore out. So that isn't there anymore. So a lot of these rides and things that they don't last very long because either they break down or it's just impractical for them to do it.
But they're great ideas.
Yeah, and even some of the costuming, I think, or even like the enthusiasm of some of the, what do they call them? The people who work there. They have cast members. May go down. Maybe some of the, some of their spiels might be minimized in time, and because it's going to be organic, so some of this stuff is just not gonna work long term. You know what I mean? Because they just don't know how many people are gonna go through there every day and what the traffic flow is gonna be like. So that's why you want to get into these things early, because some of it just might not sustain.
Yeah, that's why I know I really want to go early because of that. Because, like you said, the Chewbacca one already gives me warning bells that it's not going to be around forever. Like, that's going to be an Easter egg you're going to enjoy only if your first run.
Yeah, and I have a feeling, those engine sounds and stuff like that on the Millennium Falcon. I don't think that stuff's going to last very long. Maybe even some of the apps. I'm not really sure, but I've done a little bit of Disney history, Disney park history, and I think almost every attraction and every land has done some kind of edit after they've opened the doors. You know, there's always some kind of change, sometimes for the better, but sometimes, cool things go away. So I'm drawn, if I should go in early and battle the crowds, or if I should wait, for a year, or at least for, the off season.
I also just want to go because we've been documenting this since it was like first announced, and it'd be a shame to not get footage and experience all this stuff that possibly isn't going to be there long term.
Yeah,
while we can.
I think we'll just keep our ears to the ground and see how things develop, because I believe they have to have some kind of idea how to get people through that park, that land, because it's just going to be insane. When I say insane, it's going to be nuts. If you guys haven't been listening to our Walt's Vault, one of the things that they're already doing at the park is they're taking out planters. They're grinding down curbs on Main Street for easier access. And basically they're redoing some of the queues so they can get people in and out of the park quicker.
Which makes a lot of sense. Yeah, and let's see, we got the chat. John S. says, that was a lot of great info.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks. We like researching this stuff. I think it organically just happens. Like we said in the last video, this is stuff that we'd be talking about in the studio, whether it was live or not. This is a very enjoyable subject to cover, and hopefully we can get in there early so that we can, experience it firsthand and maybe share our thoughts. Because I'd like to do like an early review of it too. It'd be really cool if we could get in there earlier.
Oh, you know what? Anything could happen. Anything could happen. So should we make a... Well, you know what? Let's try.
Let's try it.
Yeah, let's try to get in. Let's just make that pledge right now. We will try to get in. Because even if it's not... or something? Yeah, even if it's not that great... it'll still be awesome. You know what I mean? Like, even if there's, when I say it's not that great, I just mean if it's wall-to-wall people, it's still going to be pretty cool, right?
We'll still be at Disneyland. How bad can it be?
Yeah. And maybe with all these improvements that they've been doing just, for traffic flow and things like that, that it won't be as bad as we're predicting.
Also, if it's not great, it'll make a hilarious video.
That's true. We'll turn those lemons into lemonade. You know what? Enough sugar makes everything better, right?
That's true. Art put sugar in, what was that? An Is?
It's like Izzy's?
Yeah, it's like a sparkling, disgusting drink. If
Yeah.
you can fix that.
What was it? It was like, we went in, Taylor needed like, what was that? It was like, not a donut. What the hell was that?
It was an overpriced lump of cookie dough from that place.
Yeah, but what was it? It wasn't a crepe place. What was that place?
It was like it was some place that sold the cookie dough and Cinnabons.
Oh, they were like Cinnabons. Yeah. And so I got a Izzy because I didn't want a Coke or any iced tea. So I thought, it's a fruit drink,
right? Oh, no,
right?
you got the Izzy from Chipotle.
Yeah. And so it's just carbonation. It doesn't even taste like fruit juice. Like
It
if you
doesn't.
buy, it was an orange Izzy, and I'm thinking, an orange is sweeter than this. Like if you just squeezed an orange and put it into this bottle, it would taste better, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of getting through it because I kind of have to eat. I'm like a raccoon. You know how they have those they can't salivate and stuff like that. So I have to drink while I eat. Probably too much information. You guys didn't need that, but I have to do that. So I'm drinking this Izzy, like, oh God, but I have to drink something, right? So then Taylor had to have the cookie dough. So we went over there. What do you spend, like $18?
It felt like it.
And so I'm like, I can't take this Izzy anymore. So they had like, where they have coffee, kind of like donut shops had the little coffee kiosk. So there was sugar, and I go, is this sugar? And he goes, it's beet sugar, because it was like one of those artsy fartsy places, right?
Yes.
They can't just have sugar. It's beet sugar. I'm telling you right now, you guys, beet sugar is way better than normal cane sugar. Because I poured just a ton of that into that Izzy. I shook it up. Oh my gosh, Izzy, you got to start putting sugar in your beverage, because it was delicious.
All I can say is, like, there's no more self-conscious feeling than A, ordering uncooked cookie dough, but B, having the guy be like, you can buy a quart if you want. I'm like, I want to buy a quart of cookie dough? Like, no. Like, what do you think I am?
He's just going to pig out in the parking lot.
You can eat it from a trough if you want.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. What did we see?
We saw Battle Angel Lita.
That's right. And we did our review. That's right. We should have actually carried it over to that. We were freezing cold though.
Oh yeah, it was raining too.
Yeah, we didn't want to spend any more time. We actually ran practically to that place and then to the car. It was too damn cold.
But yeah, we should definitely go. I don't know if we'll be able to do it live, but we could definitely film there, and then maybe we could. I want to do a review of the food at Galaxy's Edge. That would be interesting.
You gonna eat at Ronto's?
We could eat at I don't know. Was Ronto's the fancy one or the normal one?
I think Ronto's is the roaster, so it's the one with the pod racer engine.
We gotta rate them and see which one's the best.
So I have a feeling that that's probably gonna be the hamburgers, hot dogs place
with the Portuguese sauce.
I don't know. What is that? I don't know what that is.
From the Star Wars universe.
It doesn't seem very Star Wars, right?
Anyway.
What if they have one of those fill out, like you can like rate them or whatever? What if they have like one of those things where you can fill it out? It's like, the Ronto whatevers were amazing, but what is this Portuguese sauce? It doesn't seem very Star Wars themed.
You could eat your roast wampa with the Portuguese
with
sauce.
the Portuguese sauce. What if the Portuguese sauce becomes so popular that they just put it on everything?
Ooh, you can order the Portuguese
sauce
from the cantina.
Put it on your roasted porgs.
Ooh, Portuguese.
Porg. All right, we're getting silly, you guys. So have a great evening. Thanks for tuning in, and we will keep you posted on all that's happening in Walt Disney World, Disneyland, and in film, and the Marvel stuff too. It's all Disney related. So thanks, guys, and we'll talk to you soon.
Let us know in the comments your thoughts on Galaxy's Edge, and if there's a Disney related subject you want us to cover.
Like Portuguese sauce.
The very same.